Mark Rogers TV and Last Word on Sports talking ACC decider. For years, Clemson has been knocking on the door, but Florida State has been too tough. They've been in the way, and they have not budged. Clemson under Dabo Swinney has gained national recognition and respect by, in the last few years, defeating the likes of Ohio State, Oklahoma, LSU, Auburn out of conference. But in the ACC, it's been that Florida State barrier that has been in the way. But on this night, it was Clemson's night at home, defeating the Noles 23-13 in a very hard-fought game. Dalvin Cook, 75-yard touchdown run to punch Clemson in the gut and leading 7-0. Let's pick it up at 13-all going to the fourth quarter when Florida State decided to up the tempo. Sean McGuire got into a rhythm. They moved it from inside their own 10-yard line out to midfield. That's when Shaq Lawson, Austin Bryant, Ben Boulware, that Clemson front stood tall, made the stop, put pressure on McGuire, and Florida State had to give up the football. So Clemson gets it back inside its own 10. Deshaun Watson goes to work. 28 of 42 on this night, 297. If this kid is not in the Heisman talk, I don't know what's wrong with college football. Deshaun Watson is one of the best players in college football, regardless of position. On this particular drive, needing some points on the board, 13-all. He breaks contain a number of times to gain first downs and buy himself time to pass the ball and look for somebody downfield. He had a pop pass to Jordan Leggett, the talented tight end who has underperformed most of his career at Clemson. Showed up big on this night, 6 catches for 101. 2 consecutive passes to Leggett set up the field goal to make it 16-13. Boulware in the front 7, Shaq Lawson and company, again after Florida State was able to move it 30 or 40 yards, stood tall at midfield. Florida State went for it on a toss sweep to Cook. On 4th and 1 at the Clemson 40, Boulware, Shaq Lawson put Cook down short of the first down yard marker. And that pretty much spelled defeat for Florida State. They collapsed after that on defense after playing an exceptional side of the football on defense for the entire night against Watson and company. Deshaun Watson underneath on the screen to Sharon Peak. That was key on a 3rd and 6 play that set up the Tigers at the Florida State 21. Then Wayne Gulman, who took some rough sledding all night trying to gain yardage against that Florida State defense, really broke through on the touchdown run that closed the deal. Gulman 22 for 103, but again, it was that late touchdown run that padded his stats. He had a tough time running against this Florida State defense. Dalvin Cook, 21 for 194 and a touchdown. Sean McGuire, a workmanlike 16 of 29 for $165. I believe that the Seminoles, not that they would have won with Everett Golson in the lineup, but they definitely missed his mobility in threatening that Clemson front 7 and particularly that front 4, which may challenge Alabama and Ohio State as the best in college football. So Clemson moves on to 9-0. They're 6-0 in the ACC. The next 2 weeks look rather easy, maybe even the next 3 to close out the regular season, with Syracuse, Wake Forest, and a date against South Carolina before an ACC championship game against most likely North Carolina. The Tar Heels underrated this entire season, now 8-1 after a drubbing of Duke. The Tar Heels will have to be rated in the College Football Playoff Committee's top 25 rankings, again at 8-1, undefeated in the ACC after taking a Week 1 loss against South Carolina. Let's talk up Clemson football right here on Mark Rogers TV.